Yes, sir.
Back when LBJ was president, he's the guy that took all the money, all the surplus from Social Security and put it in treasury bonds, which, let's face it, today is zero value.
Zero value.
It has to be retrieved with uncollected tax money. So consequently, the first people that ought to take a pay cut rather than the Social Security people is Congress, since they put it on top of that. You can't just do
Let
one
me say
program.
this just on the congressional pay. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't even know all of the perks and benefits of what congressmen get. I think they make about $174,000 a year. Other than that, that's irrelevant, but yes, Congress people, men and women, should be willing to sacrifice just like every other American citizen right now.
But if you're gonna do one program, you're gonna have to do a whole lot of programs because all of this blood's not gonna come out of one group. We're in a national problem here and the nation's gonna have to pay for it. That means federal, state, Medicare, welfare, everything is gonna have to be stepped down a little bit, and Social Security people are gonna be asked to live on less. So is everybody else.
That's right.
Just a small thing. Food stamps is going crazy. Up here at the local food line, people come in there and they've got $1,500 on their food stamp card. Are you kidding me? A little lady comes through or a gentleman comes through on Social Security, he's got $50 to spend.
That's the truth.
Okay? And the reason that I can say that is because when somebody comes through on the first of the month and puts it on a food stamp, at the bottom it says how much is left. And you'd be amazed.
Oh, I look, and there's a lot of fraud that goes on with food stamps.
And I think there ought to be a program that we were told about when health care was put in, that half of this was going to be paid by the wealthy, and half was going to be paid by getting back the fraud and waste. They've known about fraud and waste for how many years, and they've never done a thing. So why don't you start on that first?
Well, my opponent, he was in my hometown a couple weeks ago, and he did make a comment that Lyndon Johnson was the greatest president in the history of our nation.
We'll discuss that some other time.
So just that little tidbit there, piece of trivia there, but anyway. But like I mentioned earlier, everything's open right now. We've got to make cuts, willing to make cuts to each and every program, because again, the rate of spend is not sustainable. The debt's not sustainable. We're looking at, you mentioned the bonds. I mean, basically what's happening right now, the government's giving the money to the banks at 2%, banks are turning around, buying back the bonds. I mean, that's just propping up the, we got to start looking at our currency, what's going to happen with the dollar. I mean, there's a lot of problems we're facing here. But this piece of paper right here might be worthless real soon. And you can watch what's happening with gold, silver. I mean, that tells you what's happening. Confidence in our currency, if we don't restore it, ladies and gentlemen, we've got major economic problems. So I'm willing to go to Washington, make the tough decisions on your behalf, and make sure that my children, your children, grandchildren have an America greater than one we live